For people, I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm pretty sure you will love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else because this is a general read. This is not a personal read, okay? If you'd like a personal read, check out the description below. Keep in mind that tarot is just a tool. It's not the final rule. So let's have an empty cup when you're on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Thank you for your kindness and support. All are welcome on this channel, okay? All contributions highly appreciated, okay? Okay, these cards are a little bigger than my hands here. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, 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 lots of sword energy. Lots of swords energy. The swords relates to the mind, intellect, some kind of power or change taking place in this read. Lots of swords here. We have the Ace of Swords. And with the Ace of Swords here, this energy is clearly, speaking of clarity, communicating and receiving information, having a lot of clarity. So there's something collective that you need to have an understanding about. Don't think so long. You might think wrong. It doesn't have to be anything negative. It could be something, just a mindset, something you're curious about, something concerning you. And you're receiving a lot of clarity in your life at this time. You're receiving so much clarity that you could be having a lot of aha moments. And when I say aha moments, let me explain what aha moment means to Lady Noble in this read. Coming to the realization of what you thought you knew, you find out that what you thought you knew, you never knew at all. You're receiving a lot of clarity, and it's giving you a clear understanding of who you are and where you stand when it comes to relationships, people you are involved with. Maybe if you are a parent, or even if you aren't a parent, do you want children in the future? Are you someone able to tolerate children? Do you date and have these discussions when you're dating someone on whether or not, you want children in your future, or whether or not you want to commit? I'm getting a lot of energy here, but you're receiving a lot of clarity in different spaces and places in your life, collective. And you could have been in reflection mode, or maybe pause several times recently, saying to yourself, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I thought I knew. Oh, I thought you are coming to the realization that it is time to make some executive decisions. When it comes to where you want to be in your near future, and you have an understanding, and now you're also in the energy of taking action towards your future goals. So a great example what Spirit is communicating is if you're someone who is desiring to buy a new home, you could be a homeowner now, and maybe you're desiring to have a bigger home, or just be relocated into an area that is fitting for you and your child, or just fitting for you. Well, in order to meet this goal, there is preparation that is necessary. It may be saving money. It may be doing research. It may be maybe taking a class or learning about how to buy a second home, and make sure that you know the regulations and policies so that you don't get swindled or cheated out of anything. That's for someone in particular. So Spirit is also saying, as you are receiving clarity on what you want to do in the near future, feel free to ask questions and do research. Don't become lazy. That's the message. I'm not calling you lazy. That's the message. Don't become lax to the energy where you have the energy like, oh, I just don't feel like it. It'll be okay. When it comes to, your finances and working towards goals, you don't have information, or you're not sure of something, feel free to ask questions. There's an energy present of someone here who wants to make a large purchase, even if it isn't a home. It could be a vehicle. It could be maybe starting a business. Maybe you want to buy a storefront. Maybe you want to invest. Maybe you want to learn about Bitcoin. You're hearing all these things, confirmation. You're hearing all these positive things about it, but you're really not fluent in that area. So Spirit is saying, feel free to ask questions do research, and take the time to learn what needs to be learned. Never be in a rush. This clarity is coming through to you for a reason. With the Four of Swords, the Four of Swords is representing you recovering, you coming out of an energy of being frustrated, of being tired. And that's what the Four Swords representing: resting, rejuvenating, recuperating, coming from a stressful situation. So Spirit is clearly saying, we're giving you clarity in different parts of your life, even if I have not named it, so that you can be in a more relaxed state, so that you can have a peace of mind. This is about making things, improvements in your life. This is about making progress in your life. And it doesn't have to be major. It could be something very small. Maybe you are a giver. Maybe sometimes you have a habit of overgiving. And maybe this overgiving throughout the years have depleted you financially, emotionally, and mentally. Okay. And so you're coming out of this energy of not overgiving so much. You're coming to an understanding that, hey, I've been depleting myself. I'm supposed to take care of me. You're not put here to save everyone. You're not put here to make sure everyone else is okay. And in the meanwhile, you're the one who's depleted. You're the one who's left out, or your bank account is dried up from trying to help everyone. There's no reward coming from that. And I'm not being cruel or malicious. That's just the truth. There's no reward coming from that. You will not be loved any less by the divine because you choose to say no. Don't be afraid to say no sometimes. You don't have to always be the yes person, okay? Yeah, so in the Three of Swords here, this clarity is also coming through so that you can rest, and so that you can stop breaking your own heart, so that you can stop disappointing yourself. And so clarity is coming through so you can take accountability. You are no longer confused, because the divine, the universe, spirit, source, God, Yahweh, Elohim, however you refer to your belief system, all are welcome here on this channel. You are given this clarity so that you can rest and rejuvenate, and so that you can stop breaking your own heart, so you can stop making yourself disappointed. Okay. So there is no more cloudy vision. Spirit is saying you're no longer confused. So they want you to take this opportunity and use it for your highest good. You're not indecisive with the Two of Swords. You know what decision that needs to be made. There is no opposing energy blocking you. No one is stopping you or blocking you. You have free will as an adult each and every day of your life. We're all given 24 hours in a day. And you have free will on what you want to put your energy towards and what you're willing to tolerate. Okay, so you have free will. They're telling me to repeat it, on what you're willing to tolerate in your 24 hours and what you want to put your energy towards. Okay. And so the Five of Swords is representing you coming out of conflict and being confused. And that's what I said with the Two of Swords. You know what decision needs to be made. There is no more confusion. You're not under the impression that you're going to be loved any less by God, by divine, by the universe, your ancestors, because you tell someone, no, I can't help you today, or no, I don't have space for you in my life right now. Okay, you have to set boundaries. Someone needs to actually really focus on setting boundaries. With the Ten of Swords here, this is pain, this is sadness. And so this clarity is coming to you to avoid being in this energy. So I'm speaking to someone who's been through and been going under a lot of great pressure and stress in your life. You've been keeping a lot to yourself. You could be also a male figure who's married, who has responsibility of yourself, your family. Maybe you take care of your extended family as well. You have a lot of responsibility. I'm also picking up on someone who works long hours, and you often throw yourself into work because of the frustration, especially when it comes to financial. It's not that you don't have the finances, it's that you're trying to help and supply too many people because you want everyone to be good. But Spirit is saying it's okay for you to want everyone to be good, but you wanting someone else to be okay isn't enough. That person has to want it for themselves. And therefore, when you do offer a helping hand to someone who wants help for themselves, they will take that as a thank you. They will show you that they're grateful for it, and in return they'll either pay that back to you if it's finances, or they'll do something that is beneficial for them to progress in their life. It won't become a habit of constantly saying I need, or always ringing your phone when there's something that they need. There's something that they want from you. Collective, it's time for you to get some phone calls that are going to deliver the message that we have something to give you, or we want to offer you something. The scales have been tipped for you for a long time. You could be a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or any placement in your chart, but the scales have been tipped for you for a long time, and it's time for you to receive. It's time for some reciprocity. So this is the energy of someone who has a great life, a great career, but you've been depleted from trying to help too many people. And it's contributing to you having a misunderstanding about what is right and what's wrong. You have a perception. Maybe this is from your upbringing. Maybe as a small child, maybe you were raised this way. Maybe someone told you, must have your brothers or sisters back, or if someone in the family has a need, make sure that you help. If you don't, you'll be punished. Maybe this is some kind of brainwashing or some kind of programming that has been projected onto you throughout your younger life, and it's something that you just haven't learned to overcome, and it has spilled out into your adulthood, and it's causing conflict in your personal life, with your spouse especially. And even if you don't have a living spouse, maybe with someone that you're dating, you're so focused on helping other people outside of you. And I'm not talking about your children, I'm talking about family, friends. I'm talking about leeches, bugaboos, the pocket watchers, the people who sit up and want to count what you make and what you have, and they feel entitled. And so rather than them say, you know what, I'm inspired by the collective, you know what, they do got it going on. You know what, I'm going to go get it going on for myself. There are some of you have people around you who are pocket watching you. They're monitoring you. They're watching and trying to calculate how you're surviving, that's diabolical to me. That's a whole lot of energy to be so focused on what someone else has going on. And it often, when you find people like this, these are people who are lazy and they don't want to do anything, and they do feel entitled. They feel like you're obligated to take care of them. So this is where you put down the boundaries, and Spirit is saying, prepare yourself for people to be mad. You're not here to please people. Okay. So, yeah. Spirit is saying it's time to be brave. So whatever you thought, it's time to be brave, but you're not going to be loved any less. And they're telling me to repeat that. Someone's been told that they're going to be punished, or if they don't say yes, there's something about you must help your family. No. Family must help themselves. Okay, you're not indebted to them. Okay, if you can, but not, with to the point where you're losing yourself and there's nothing left for you, because that's what this reading is about. You could be someone who's maxed out credit cards and overdrawn accounts to help people, taking bill money that's supposed to go to your household, or monies that you had saved. And because someone knew you were saving, they felt you were the go-to person. And that's why they say, it's a good thing to keep your business to yourself. No one should know what's in your bank account and the next move you're going to make. All those things should stay private. But I'm picking up for some of you, there are people who actually were aware that maybe, you had a plan to make a large purchase, and so the collective's been saving it. I've seen their account and they're doing good. Well, that doesn't mean that you're entitled to it. And it's quite bold and rude, and collective, you should really feel disrespected by that. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Okay. And so with the Three of Wands energy, Spirit is clearly saying that they want you to be able to live a life where you are content and at peace. Because if you don't have peace, as I always remind the collective, you don't have nothing at all. You can't enjoy money, some good loving, a beautiful house, a car. You can't enjoy a good climax. Yes, I said it, without peace. You must have peace in your life, or you cannot enjoy these things inside or outside around you. So make sure you're only entertaining like minded energy moving forward, family, friends, woman, husband, man, or your side plan. Make sure that you're entertaining like minded energy. Make sure people aren't around you for what they can get from you. Make sure people aren't, I'm seeing someone licking their chops as if you are a meal ticket, or you're like a steak, okay? You're like a steak, a juicy steak, and they just want to get their chops on some. Make sure people aren't seeing you as that. We are multidimensional beings. We are limitless. We're not limited. And so, since this is truth, and this person feels like, everything's supposed to come from you, this would be a good idea. You should really have fun and enjoy enforcing your boundaries. And Spirit is also saying, um, enforcing your boundaries doesn't mean cussing anyone out, being confrontational. Enforcing your boundaries is being action oriented. Through your actions, people will see and understand that your no is no. When they call for that favor, it's a no. And you don't have to explain. You don't have to announce your arrival or your departure, nor do you have to explain to anyone of why you're saying no. When a person wants to question that, that's disrespectful in my opinion too, because we all are adults. And if a person tells you no, simply let that be and act like water and move on. Don't allow anyone to question you, to interrogate you regarding your response. Let your yes be yes and your no be a clear no, okay? And whoever is trying to project on you and make you feel as if you don't do something, you're going to be punished, you need to look them in the eye and say, you know what? I'm not you. And say nothing else. You know what? I'm not you. So because, this world, people will walk over you and take advantage of you. And then when you're in a situation where you need a helping hand and there's no one around, people just look and stare and just gossip. Oh my, you see what the collective went through? You see what happened so and so with their job, and so and so, so and so, so and so, and these will be the same people who you've helped, who you've spent, years and years, almost all of your life. I'm picking up for some of you, helping people. Every time someone needed a place to stay, your house was a go-to. People sleeping everywhere, and you're like, find a spot, cool, you can come here. And no, there needs to be order. There needs to be boundary. Where you rest your head, it should be a safe haven. It should be peaceful. And something about cleanness. Maybe somebody need to do some cleaning, some decluttering. There should be no worries at your home. You should not run your home like a flop house where any and everything goes. Okay. And so the Two of Wands, Spirit is clearly saying, make the decision, because this is about you. This is not me interpreting a message to throw shade or to be, sarcastic. No, this is a spiritual notification. This is confirmation. There are no such thing as coincidences. For you to make a decision, and only you know your life, and only you know what's going on. So this is between you and the divine. And so with the Two of Wands, Spirit is saying clearly, make a decision to take action in your life. Allow these leeches no more to reap from you, and it's one-sided, that's what's sticking out the most in this read. This is a one-sided situation where there's a lot of takers around you, and they know what they're doing. People are aware of it. Folks don't need conversation. Folks are always saying they want to have a talk. Folks, people, look. People know what they're doing. Folks don't need no conversation. People know what they are doing. People know what they're doing, collective, okay? And so it's time for you to be in the energy of celebrating with the Four of Wands. And this energy of celebration is present and awaiting you. But Source wants you to put your foot down and set your boundaries and enforce them, not by being confrontational and stressing yourself out and get into a physical altercation. No, 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 no. Your yes is yes and your no is no, but it's time for you to use no more in your life. You've given out enough yeses. If your rule is don't come over my house without calling, well, if they come to your house without calling, you don't open your door, nor do you go to the door and talk through the door, nor do you get up and close your blinds or shades. There's nothing to hide from. They know they did not announce their arrival respectfully. Maybe you have a rule of, you know, maybe something about babysitting. You can't drop your kids off without permission. Maybe there were people dropping their children off, and you get off work or you come home and everyone's child is there. And instead of you being mean and saying, come get your baby, you've been being lenient, letting everyone stay. But you're forgetting the lights, the water, the gas, the food, the tissue, the toothpaste, the soap. Uh, all that is your responsibility. And so this is for someone Pacific. There's no more dropping your children off. If you didn't speak to me and I didn't give you permission, you don't just drop them off when you want to, grandchildren or not. You need to speak to me and we need to agree to it, and I'll give you a time. And when I say pick them up on time. You have to enforce these boundaries. You could have someone living with you. I'm picking up someone has someone living with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people are good roommates, and sometimes there are people who aren't good roommates. Let's be real. But you could have someone who you're a roommate with, and you have rules set. We can have company, but no company spend the night. Or that it could be anything. It could be someone younger than you. Maybe this is a niece, a nephew, someone who's not a full-grown adult, and maybe they're trying to be fast. I'm gonna go over auntie so and so or uncle house because I know I can have my girlfriend or my boyfriend over there. Okay. I'm telling on somebody right now. And you may have to put your foot down. Look, your mother or father don't allow you to do that at your house. No, you cannot let your boyfriend or girlfriend spend the night at my house. It's just time to put your foot down. Okay. All right. And so, yeah, because I'm seeing someone who has a beautiful home and works hard. You've worked very long hours and you make great money. You actually have the money, as I stated earlier, but it's just the people around you, the freeloading and the leeches that's making it look like you don't. But Spirit is saying you have it. You're very abundant. Okay. But I'm picking up, which is funny, someone coming in the door, like you could be coming from work, from church, shopping. Every time you come home, it's a new face in your house. And this is just family and friends just taking advantage, letting people stay the night, dropping children off, maybe hanging out with people, maybe someone, maybe they drank too much. Yeah, let them sleep it off. Don't let anyone get behind the wheel, but at least call me and let me know. Don't leave nobody here unattended. I'm also picking that up. There's somebody who leaves people at your house who you don't know at all, but they don't even call you to say something like, hey, I left so and so here. Is it okay? I'm about to bend the corner for a minute. Just a lot of disregard and disrespect. So this reading is about you just dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and getting things and people in check. With the Six of Wands, because it's time for you to celebrate. The Six of Wands is celebrating and being celebrated. So this Six of Wands energy is the energy of new people, new associates. Relatives don't have to be blood related. So I'm picking up the energy of you coming across new people, new energy, to make memories with, to spend time with. But these will be people who will celebrate you and people who want to see you win. Okay, there's a difference. Everyone has different reasons why they are involved with people when it comes to relationships. And doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is. It's the truth. It's something that's rarely talked about because it's like a reality check, and people don't like to really deal with reality. There are some people who are just comfortable living with the lie. But there are reasons why people are involved in relationships, whether it's romantic or friendship or business partnership. Relationships are conditional. There are conditions of why and reasonings of why people interact with each other or deal with each other. Many just tolerate each other. Sometimes it's survival. Sometimes it's insecurity. Sometimes it's laziness. Sometimes people just bold as ever. Okay. Sometimes it's about opportunity. Sometimes people may feel that you can connect them to some resources, or maybe you're a well-connected person. Okay. Or maybe also there are people who will attach themselves to you because you, such as you collective, I'm seeing you're someone who lives a lifestyle that people would like to live, but they don't want to work to get there. And whoever you are, you have a very beautiful home, a very beautiful home. And just everyone just feels entitled to come kick their shoes and socks off and, leave their restaurant bags and containers everywhere. And I mean, they can at least pull the trash without you even asking. This trash is overflowing. Let me, I'm here every day visiting. Let me pull this trash. Let me, without you even asking. That's for someone in particular. Okay. It's like a party house, a party energy. But even when you're not there, no one should be roaming around your house and having their way while you're at work, punching the clock, working 12 hours, double shifts. And when the bills come, you're the only one at the table making arrangements to make these payments. These people who are coming to run the light bill up and flush the toilet 1,000 times. And every time you cooking a meal, you make some extra for me. What you cooking in there? It's one thing to be invited, but when you invite yourself and you wear out your welcome, it's a whole nother ball game. Okay. This concludes the read. I trust and hope that it assists you for your highest good. Later.